YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. So, George Kittle and Fred Warner both have talked on certain talk shows. Fred Warner was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and then Kittle was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams today. And they both praised Brock Purdy and basically said that his biggest improvement was how he's really stepped up to be, the vocal leader of the team, and that his leadership skills have been off the charts. And that's something that they both believe he took a leap on for just this past season. So obviously, when Purdy came in as Mr. Irrelevant and eventually got his shot on the team, the play spoke for itself. He took the 49ers to a NFC Championship game in 2023 versus the Eagles. Obviously, he was hurt in that game, and the 49ers literally couldn't do anything to win that game. But obviously, they come back the following year and absolutely stomped Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial, ran them out of town, and blew them out 42-19 when Brock Purdy was healthy. So I think we all know what would have happened had Brock Purdy played in that game. But either way, I mean, not only that, but, taking the team to the NFC Championship in 2023, and then, of course, coming back the following year, and then they go to a Super Bowl. So, his play has spoke for itself, right? But I think the biggest thing that you want out of a franchise quarterback is for him to be a vocal leader, for him to really take true leadership in the team. And Purdy and Warner are both, or Kittle and Warner are both implying that Purdy has really taken his leadership skills to a whole nother level, and they both look at that as one of his biggest improvements of last year. So obviously, I mean, Purdy knows that he's the franchise quarterback. This team knows that he's the franchise quarterback, and again, I mean, it's very important for your quarterback to be the main vocal leader of the team. Obviously, Fred Warner is kind of like the vocal leader of the defense. But on the offensive side of things, you don't want anybody else to be the main vocal leader on your team than the quarterback. And I'm glad that, both Kittle and Warner feel that way about Brock Purdy. I think clearly that's something that they look at as one of the biggest things that you can get out of your quarterback, like everybody else kind of thinks. But basically what Kittle said, or I guess I'll just start with Fred Warner. So Fred Warner went on to the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and what Fred Warner said was, "I love Brock Purdy, and his story is amazing. He took a huge leap this year in leadership, and the sky is the limit for him." And then Kittle today, again on the Up and Adams show, said that he was very vocal. He gave a lot of quote unquote "I need you to be on your stuff for us to win" type of talk. And again, I mean that's leadership right there, right? That's what you want out of your quarterback. Kittle also, threw around today on the Up and Adams show. I know this is kind of off topic, but he also threw around kind of a recruiting message to Myles Garrett. He said, quote unquote, "Hey Myles, we could be really good friends, I promise." So no surprise that George Kittle is also kind of getting on the bandwagon for Myles Garrett to be traded to the 49ers. And then again, Fred Warner yesterday said a similar thing. He kind of sent a message to Myles Garrett and said that practically that he wants him to come to San Francisco, and that he would definitely welcome that idea. So obviously, this Myles Garrett talk to the 49ers is going to be it's not going to stop until he does get traded. But again, I mean, the 49ers are amongst the list of teams that are going to be interested in him and are expected to kind of pursue the idea of trading for him. So why wouldn't some of the biggest players on the team and Kittle and Warner be vocal about the idea of teaming up with Myles Garrett and for the Niners to trade for him. So, again, that's going to be a situation to monitor very closely, right? Like Myles Garrett's without a doubt a top 4 NFL player in all of football, probably a top 3 player. So, again, he's also the reigning Defensive Player of the Year as well. So obviously, why the hell would you not want Myles Garrett to be on your team? So, but yeah, man, I mean, obviously, the moral of the story is that, Purdy has clearly taken a leap in his leadership, and I think that the team really respects him for that. And that's what you want out of a franchise quarterback. So with that being said, pay Brock Purdy. Pay Brock Purdy the money that he deserves. Pay Brock Purdy the money that he wants. But also be cautious that you also have to, figure out and fill some other needs on this team. And I think the 49ers are going to do that. I think the most important contract extension aside from Purdy and Kittle is Dre Greenlaw. You got to keep Dre Greenlaw around. I'll also be interested to see what they do with Talanoa Hufanga, because that's a guy that I would prefer to be re-signed. But, I mean, if they trade for a guy like Myles Garrett, Myles Garrett will seemingly probably be the odd one out, or Hufanga will likely be the odd one out in that regard. But, look, the 49ers have a very talented rookie and a promising rookie in Malik Mustafa. And so we'll see what happens. But I definitely expect the 49ers to be very aggressive in free agency. I expect them to call on the biggest names in football that are wanting out of their current team, like Myles Garrett. And they're going to do what it takes to get this team back to a Super Bowl contender. Because, again, the Super Bowl next year is at Levi's Stadium. And what better way for the 49ers to finally win a Super Bowl than doing it in San Francisco at Levi's Stadium? So, again, we'll see what happens. But I definitely expect the Niners to be aggressive this offseason. So, again, let me know what you guys think, though, of Fred Warner and George Kittle's comments on Brock Purdy really taking his leadership to another level and really kind of cementing himself as the vocal leader of the team. And with that being said, as always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.